Style the podcast. I'm the host, the Honey Badger, here to give it to you straight and transparent about the RV business, as well as other things. Normally, I don't do a live stream on Saturdays, but a lot has occurred. And I put kind of a comment on LinkedIn and on X, which is formerly Twitter, this morning, and it was a comment that is directed toward what we are going through as a world. Right now, it's specific. What I was talking about was the RV industry, but it also is in a world of all industries, human relationships, etc. And what that is when somebody admits, hi Jeff, when somebody admits that they did something wrong, or a company says they did something wrong, or that there's a problem with a product, there's two reactions to it. The first reaction is from the people that are, you can call them fanboys, you can call them groupies, you can call it whatever you like. But basically their first reaction is to pretend that the company or the product isn't having a problem. That's the first reaction. Then the other reaction comes from another side. A side of people that they take this problem and they turn it into a nuclear bomb. And it doesn't matter if it's the RV industry, it doesn't matter if it's politics, it doesn't matter if it's in economics. Hey, Kathy. It doesn't matter what it really is. It's just they drop a bomb and they do it for one of three reasons. They either do it for money, fame, or that adrenaline hit of going viral. Okay? For me, going viral is very different today than it was 3 years ago. Okay? 3 years, hi Ryder. 3 years ago, when I used to go viral on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, it was like super exciting. I was like, oh, I want this adrenaline pump. You start walking around a little different. You start acting a little different. And you think you've got everything figured out. And then you do another video. But it doesn't go viral. There's a mindset of our world and social media that is causing these two reactions of pretend it doesn't exist or over exaggerate what the problem is. Okay? There's thumbnails on these YouTube videos. I just saw a thumbnail today on a video that said, RV manufacturers, how can they get away with this crap? And the video was by a guy that's never worked in the RV industry, never worked at an RV dealership, rumor has it, has taken RV manufacturers for over $100,000 in cash, plus has pretty much gotten 3 free units. And it's like, how can you take that person seriously? How is it that Brinkley, as an example, would even give that guy the time of day? Well, the reason why is because we all love that negative attention. So we throw all this negativity, all this gasoline on a fire, and blow up a fire that was this small and took it into the size of Texas because of social media. And yes, I do like cheeseburgers, and you're welcome, Olivia. And this is the problem with every industry right now, okay? So I'm going to use, we've been talking about it a lot on this podcast. We're going to talk about the Brinkley RV situation with the big cracks in the sidewall. We're going to use that as an example, okay? Because it's the most recent example that is really blown out of proportion. We can't do it with our Grand Design frame failure, frame flex, because that's a disaster of its own. It actually became bigger than what bigger than what we thought. And there's lawsuits and all kinds of things going on with Grand Design and their fifth wheels. But that's for another episode. So Brinkley RV, let's just give you a breakdown if you don't know what occurred. The short version of the long story is there's a lot of customers that were reaching out on Facebook to Brinkley RV saying, hey, look at all these big cracks in the front of my coach. Fifth wheels, travel trailers, toy haulers. No model has been immune yet, okay? And it makes sense. When this was occurring, there was a YouTuber that took this information and made a YouTube video that Brinkley RV has frame failure like Grand Design. Then there was another YouTuber who brought somebody on as a guest that's a Brinkley owner, and they claimed that they had frame failure. Then it just went and spread. Because these videos went viral, it just spread and spread and spread and spread like wildfire. So guess what? I knew nothing about it at the time. I had been told about the guests that went on a certain YouTuber's channel, but I didn't think anything of it. So then I go, all right, let me raise my hand. How many people are having frame failure or think they have frame failure on their Brinkley? We know about the braking problems. We know about the wiring issues. We know about all the problems Brinkley was having that was mainly coming from their suppliers. However, all of a sudden, I'm getting 25 to 30 emails a day from Brinkley owners saying, no, but check this out. And I was getting pictures and videos, and these people will remain anonymous because I always tell people, if you share information with me and you're an owner of something, I'm not going to tell the manufacturer on you. That's wrong. I want to keep people's information private. You're exposing the problem. But here's the interesting part. It's not from frame failure. It's not the same problem Grand Design RV has. Yes, Brinkley uses Lippert frames, but it's different. Okay, it's a different frame than what Grand Design was using. So what was occurring, and I'm going to try to condense this down. What was occurring is the cracks were appearing within the same general area of each fifth wheel toy hauler, travel trailer, etc. It was right in the front area, the front third of the coach. But the way the crack looks is it isn't when the frame is failing on most of these Grand Design fifth wheels. You're seeing a lot of separation. You're seeing cabinets falling down, cabinets turning crooked. You're seeing wall separations. There's a lot of things going on with Grand Design and the frame failure they're going through for year model 2014 to 2024. This is a crack, like a stress crack. So I bring this out. Hi, Paul. So I bring this out. Well, as I'm bringing it out, because I'm a member of a lot of the Brinkley RV groups, I'm anonymous. Nobody knows it's me because I never post there, but I'm in there. And I see a lot of this stuff. And I see Nate Goldberg, and I see a lot of the Brinkley kind of social media people responding, not gaslighting their customers, saying, hey, we're aware of the issue. It's pretty much a massive problem, and we're doing something about it. Okay? Now, when I come out and say those things, both tell the story, tell the proper story, give the facts, and then give Brinkley credit, we saw two sides of the world explode. We saw, excuse my language, but we saw dumbass YouTubers that are part of either a corporate dealership or sell Brinkley RV that start going into comments of my videos and comments of other people's videos and basically trying to talk about how great the drawers are and how great the cabinets are on Brinkley, completely dodging that Brinkley has said there's a problem and we're solving it. And nobody's talking really about it. Nobody's giving credit to Brinkley. Nobody's giving, anything of that nature. Then we had another side of the industry, of the YouTube industry, of the YouTube world of RV dealerships. And some of these people are money seeking, view seeking, adrenaline hitting. They're like drug addicts. They need their hit of adrenaline. I gotta go viral. I gotta go viral. What story can I make up today to bullshit the American and world people about Brinkley RV? And it's like, I'm not a fan. I will never sell a Brinkley. I'll never be a part of a Brinkley dealership. I'll never be a part of a Grand Design dealership. Those are my choices because those are my own separate things. But you don't see me going, let me tell the American people lies about how terrible Brinkley is. Brinkley's not a bad product. It's overpriced, overhyped. It's not the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't care if their drawers are the best looking things on God's green earth. Their structural integrity and their electrical integrity is no better than anyone else. In fact, they're having more problems than any other manufacturer right now. But that doesn't make them bad. Okay? They do a lot of good things over there. But you got two sides of an equation. And this can be brought up with any industry. This can be brought up with anything. I mean, I see it in politics right now. While Biden was president, it was neat. It was like everything was perfect and Biden's perfect and everything's perfect. And then you had the other side. Biden's going to cause World War III. Biden's going to burn down the world. The whole world's going to burn down. Now all of a sudden it flip-flop. Now it's Trump's the savior and Trump's Jesus Christ the savior of the world. And then the other side's like, Trump's going to nuke the world. It's going to bomb. Everybody's going to go broke. Everybody's going to starve. I mean, it's just such, excuse my language if there's kids around, but it's just such horseshit from both sides of every industry, every political aisle, everything. Social media has been taken into an age of stupid. I mean, and it seems like there's only three type of people that go viral and get rich on social media. And they don't last very long, but there are only three types of people. Okay? There's the people that play the long game, like Mr. Beast, who does it for 10, 12, 13 years and finally hits it big. And then you got the quick, let me shake my booty, let me show off my body, let me go give everybody an OF, let me do a bunch of thirst traps. That's men and women, by the way, not just women. That's men and women. You got a guy who for years just takes off his shirt, started an OnlyFans, goes around with a duck, and fishes for sharks. Those are the type of guys that go that's the second people that kind of go viral. They don't give you anything. They kind of do some weird editing and weird stuff and dangerous things. Kind of like what I grew up with on MTV and VH1, like Jackass type of stuff, right? If you guys remember Jackass, okay? And so you got all that stuff. And then the third type are the people that just flat out take something and they blow it up into this big monstrous evil thing. Like everything that is not in their wheelhouse is evil. If they're conservative and they have a podcast or they got a show on Rumble or a show on YouTube, everything a liberal says, everything a liberal does is Armageddon, evil, they're going to hell, they're the devil. And then if they're a liberal person and somebody has anything viewing that is not liberal, it's the same thing. They're the devil, they're a racist, they're sexist, there's misogynist. I mean, it's just all, and people make money doing this. Can you believe it? They make insane amounts of money by basically hating people. You know, it's like the people that do things right, they last longer when they make the money, but they don't make money fast. Okay? Let's look at Josh the RV nerd. He's in the industry. He's in this industry. Look how long he had a YouTube channel for before he hit the big time. what, 10, 12 years? Matt's RV and Towable Reviews, what, 11 and a half years? JD from Big Truck, Big RV, like 16 years? I mean, it wasn't, we're going to become a viral sensation today because we're going to do something so eccentric. And it's just drives me nuts lately. And I don't know why it drives me nuts. I don't know why it bothers me so much. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting deeper and deeper into this. The more I grow, the more the podcast grows, the more the main channel grows, the more the TikTok channel grows, the more views, the more I dig deep into how this whole thing works, the more I sit there and go, what the hell? No wonder a guy like me doesn't have a viral moment on a podcast. No wonder a guy like me barely gets 200 views an episode or 300 views an episode. It's because the stuff I get big views on are the stuff I talk negative. When I'm talking nothing but how crap something is or how bad something is, that's when something goes viral. So it's like, wait a minute, hold on a second. When I talk about how financing changed on truck campers, that doesn't get a lot of attention. But the minute I put in the comments that something went on fire and the manufacturer is going to go out of business, all of a sudden everybody clicks. What's that about? We're addicted as a society. We are addicted to negativity. We're addicted to negative news. We're addicted to negative stuff on the internet. And it's like we can't break ourselves of it. We love drama. It's just so crazy. I've been at the YouTube thing now 4 years. 4 years next month. The main channel will turn 4 years old next month. Okay? And Cruising with the Carsons, who does really nothing but talk and bash RV manufacturers, gets more views than this podcast. And that's not because Greg's a better YouTuber than I. It's because all Greg really talks about is how crappy everything is. It's the same thing with Liz Amazing. Liz Amazing, she's a necessity, but let's face it, the day she comes online and tells you how wonderful a product is the day her view count's going to crash. Because we as a human beings don't want to hear positive news. We either want to hear things are sunshine and rainbows or everything's shit. That's really all we ever want to talk about or hear. We want to be right and we want to be on the right side of an argument. And that's all we really care about. You know, if I was 6'4" and had an 8-pack and had a big old third leg doing walkthroughs, I'd probably be shirtless and topless and bulging muscles and walking around like I'm the biggest stud on earth. I probably would have gone viral by now. But unfortunately, I got a dad bod. I'm a normal, everyday Joe. Never going to be the hot, steaming McSteamy or Dr. Dreamy or wherever the hell they used to call those guys from Grey's Anatomy. I'm never going to be that. I got crooked teeth. I got bad breath. I got a receding hairline. I got a nice big gut. I've got feet that are always weird. And I'm never going to be sexy. I'm never going to be that guy that jumps in the air and is just so happy about everything that's occurring in the RV industry. I'm never going to be like that. And there's a lot of guys that are like me that I feel bad for because they do such a great job explaining things in different parts of the world. Like there's like 5 guys that talk about trucks and talk about the real math on trucks, not all the BS we see on the internet. I mean, I hear such BS about how hitch weight should be computed into payload of a truck. No, that's complete malarkey. Pin weight on a fifth wheel should be calculated, not hitch weight, because hitch weight is distributed using a weight distribution hitch. I've talked to engineers on trucks. These guys are engineers that talk about these things about trucks. And they have such good info. They do a great job editing their video. They're a lot better at editing videos than mine. And their videos get 50 views, 30 views, 25 views. And it's like, these guys have such great information. Why is it that some jerk off who gives people bad information, bad mathematics, gets 1.5 million views a day on videos about what trucks can and can't do, and are complete lying sacks of garbage, but the guy giving you the truth, the guy giving you the reality, and the guy doing a great job with editing his videos, he gets 25 or 30 views a month. Not a day, a month. See, that's where we have a problem. If it's not controversial, nobody wants to watch it. Great example of this. This is something that's a great example, okay? There's some people who kind of figured out how to tie it all together, right? There's some really successful folks on social media that have kind of tied everything together, okay? There's one gal who kind of puts her body out there, but also has a great cooking show. It's called Cooking with Kaya. That's the balance. A gal like that who does a great job teaching how to cook. She's got great personality. You can tell that she spends a hell of a lot more time in the gym than most people. And it's like, I can understand why men and women like watching her and listening to her. And she gives you good information. She's not a liar. She's not a thief. You know, well, maybe she is. I don't know that part. But I just know that her information and how to cook things is actually pretty accurate. I've actually made some of the dishes that she has taught on her videos. So there are a lot of YouTubers like Mr. Beast and others that have tied it all together. But it's just like, we have enough negativity on the internet already. Why do people just keep on stacking more? That's what I want to know. What is it about just people desiring controversy and negativity and drama? What is it? We weren't like that when we were kids. When we were little kids, we sat down and watched Mickey Mouse, Sesame Street, Power Rangers. I mean, Transformers, the animated show, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the animated show. It was like we watched all this stuff with positivity and positive messages and talking about teamwork and talking about growth and humanity. We don't talk about that stuff as adults. We talk about, well, you're a racist because you think that Israel should survive, or whatever the hell crap and garbage people want to point fingers at other people about. You're wearing a t-shirt that was bought with blood money, or you're buying a pair of shoes that slaves made. I mean, it's just a joke. We live in a joke society right now when it comes to all this crap. And it bothers the hell out of me. And the more I dive into it, the worse it gets. And it's like, I guess part of it is, and here's where I'm going to give credit to people in my life right now. So one of the guys that manages the place I'm helping said something the other day that makes sense. And it's, whether I work at dealerships, work at shows, work here on the internet, whatever, he says, the truth is that you have a big, and this is what he said exactly. The truth is you have a big target on your back. And he goes, right now, if you look at it, because of what you do, how you do it, whether it positively impacts the industry, negatively impacts the industry, you're now public enemy number one. He said, you're going to have, I know you're frustrated by all of it, but you're going to have to grow thicker skin. He goes, talk about it, do your thing, but just grow skin. Don't let it bother you that much. Talk about it, but don't let it bother you too much. And I go, what do you mean by that? And he goes, well, all the guys that hate the industry, hate manufacturers, bash manufacturers no matter what, you're public enemy number one to them because you're threatening their livelihood, because you're correcting them. And he goes, and the sunshine and rainbows and the manufacturers are going to make you public enemy number one, because when it's time to kick them in the butt, people are going to be more willing to listen to you about something because you're fair. He goes, you might be in it in the long run to make money from it, to make money from your knowledge, to make money from your contacts, to make money from everything you're learning and doing. But he goes, you're not out there screaming in the middle of the camera like this close and causing all this wacky drama of somebody's sending this letter and somebody's sending that letter and somebody's trying to stop you legally and somebody hire an attorney and somebody did this. Nobody's ever done that to me. I had one executive at an RV manufacturer that tried to shut me up and try to cancel me. That person no longer is trying to do that. And unfortunately, I can't really talk about it. Number one, I shouldn't talk about it because I don't want to burn bridges. When I get, when people give me permission to say who they are and what they do, I'm more than happy to share it, but I'm not going to burn bridges, because the more I burn bridges, the less information you guys are going to get as consumers. So at least, I'll burn bridges with people like Miles RV, MYLES RV, because that guy's just, either he's really ignorant or he just doesn't want to come to the conclusion that what he is doing and saying, or what his people are doing and saying in people's comments section, is stupid and moronic. You don't talk about when you're having what Miles RV needs to do is take a page out of Matt's RV reviews and Matt's towable reviews. Take a page out of Matt's book. Don't go jumping into people's comments section and start talking about stuff that really doesn't matter to folks right now. Instead, either attack the problem head on or move on to another subject. Because when you start, and this goes for anybody and everybody, okay? Like, I don't dare jump into the car industry and start going into car gurus comment section, start telling them what idiots they are. That's not my shtick. Will I talk about that there are idiots in the car industry that talk about dumb stuff about trucks? Sure. Am I gonna name names? There's no need. You guys can all guess who I'm talking about. Most of you will probably be right. But this is why, and kind of my final thought of the night is, this is why consumers are so mistrusting about everything dealing with several industries, whether it's the motorcycle industry, power sports, boats, RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels, etc. The reason why there's so much mistrust is there's so much bad information on the internet. Okay? The YouTube algorithm, the TikTok algorithm, all these algorithms benefit those that want to talk absolute, either talk shit about a product, a person, or controversy. Because that's what drives ad revenue to these platforms, is views, viewership, subscribers, etc. When it's someone that actually relates with all sides and gives you good information, and I'm not the only one. There are a lot of folks, tons of content creators in the RV industry, in the boating industry, in every industry that actually give you real, good, amazing content, but they don't get the recognition that they deserve because they don't do anything controversial and they don't show their body off in a bikini. I don't know if you'd really want to see that with me. That would be a really ugly sight. But c'est la vie. So, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a wonderful evening. And remember, RV will always stand for toolkit and sense of humor. Have a good one.